This is Charles Nelson Riley. You're listening to my favorite podcast, Mouse and Weens.
Mouse and weens and a 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 mouse and weens, mouse and weens and a mouse and weens. Isn't it heavenly being here with us, Mouse and Weens? Welcome, everybody. I'm Joelle. I'm the mom one who's married, who lives in the suburbs, who has 3 kids. This is my life.
I'm Weens. I'm up in LA, currently in Culver City, staring at a giant redwood tree.
Really?
And I'm have nothing else to say about myself except that I'm in someone else's house. My
and
friend
you ate pizza.
I did. I ate some pizza. Why is that interesting?
Because it was a fun moment you just had with your post.
Oh, Joelle, come on. Don't make that was not for anyone else.
No, I meant your breath. That's all. You were talking about your breath.
Okay.
Well,
but anyway, I'm staring at a giant redwood tree in the middle of Los Angeles in my friend's backyard. I'm at my friend Blake's house. He and his wife are up in Tahoe.
Yeah.
And it's very nice they said,
needed
come
a
stay.
Change of scenery, huh?
And air conditioning, central air. Oh, hot dog.
Yeah, it's the middle of summer. It's officially hot. Are you You sent me a report of the smog and showed me how gross it was there. I felt really bad.
Yeah, the word, you know how it says air quality over your thing on your phone, if it says like 75 and then you look up and it'll say sunny, or it said hazardous air.
Oh my God. Get out of there, man. Come down.
I'm telling you.
San Diego. It's the place to be. Anyway.
All right. Tell me about yourself, Joe. Why don't you tell all the listeners in the world about
listeners. Thank you, listeners, for listening.
And viewers.
We're on YouTube.
Tell us what you've been up to. And first I'd like to hear, have you had any dreams lately? Oh, I just remembered mine last night with Adam Sandler. Continue.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay. My latest dream was I was being chased by Ghostface of Scream.
What?
It was like Scream 13, whatever installation of Scream it was. And
if you might remember me from Scream 1.
That's right. Weens
in the video store scene.
The video store. She was wearing a royal blue sweater. If you guys all look it up.
If you pause.
Yeah. It's so cute. It goes quickly, but you were there. No, and Ghostface was chasing me, and I turned around and I had some big, massive metal like frisbee, and I threw it at him like a frisbee, and it sliced his neck off, and it just offset his head from his neck like 1 inch, and then the whole thing went tip and then fell off. And I woke up bolt upright, 1:30 in the morning. It was awful.
Joe.
Yeah. And then I was up for 3 hours and finally fell back asleep. Then that dream, I dreamt that someone left their dog in the car. I am blaming it on brilliant observations. They had an episode about someone actually leaving their dog in the car. And the dog in my dream died. And mom somehow came. She was like the cleaner. And she took the dead dog and chopped it up and like made it into food.
And put it in a stew, because she used to, I had just mentioned, because I do that with my cat when she has. Yeah, but when I was doing something and we were on the phone the other day, and I think it was like I was mixing old cat food with new cat food as a trick, so my cat will eat it because she's a snoot and doesn't touch the old one. And I go, oh, this reminds me of our childhood when things would get stale. Mom would just put it in like a soup or hide it in some kind of like weird Chinese Mexican taco. And I'd be like, Okay. And you said that's what moms do.
This is mom hack. Mom hack 101. Stir fry. Soup. Burrito. Thank you. Every leftover, you can make it into something else, something wonderful. Fried rice also works. Yeah. Those
That's why you're supposed to not order soup at a restaurant, because that's what they do too.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
All right. But Now I have a snooty palate and I would be able to taste our stale Cheerios, even though they were reheated. I said,
Yeah, we went so far as to reheat stale things in the oven to give them their crisp back. Now I won't do that with my kids. That's one.
Now I do that.
Oh, does it work?
Yeah.
Really?
Because things get so wet and soggy here with the hazardous smog. It goes into your biscuits and makes everything stale.
Smog.
What
in the
is that?
biscuits. What?
Sorry, your cat.
Oh.
It looked like a bear or something behind you. I told you I don't want to look at video because I get so distracted. That was weird.
So you're staying in Blake's house too, and he's particularly worried about bears. That's so funny. I wonder if you're in like bear energy space. Being
Well, you were
over
just
there.
talking about someone chasing you, and then I see, and I'm figuring we're both alone. I'm just getting weird. I'm spending way too much time alone.
Yeah, do your dreams. Okay, what dreams have you had, Weens?
Okay, last night, member, I'm a member. Do you remember when I was speaking of Adam Sandler is the barometer of all of my life experiences. Adam Sandler is a sage or guru that shows up. It usually has to do with men or some kind of he's like my spirit guide or something in dreams.
It sounds so weird. No one has ever said that sentence before, just for the record.
Adam Sandler's my spirit guide. He has shown up for the past 15 to 20 years, and he'll be like the guy. It usually has to do with men. Hey, baby boo boo. Maybe you should raise your consciousness. Shabadoo. So stupid.
I would actually go to his lecture or sermon or whatever they call it. That would be fun.
You would like him.
Yeah.
So this one was, he was in a green shirt, ladies and gentlemen, a green t-shirt. Ladies and gentlemen. It's 4 men's, 1 woman. That doesn't make sense. He was laying down in a forest green shirts, ladies. And I went to go lay in the crook of his armpit. He was like, Shabadoo. No. He said, I don't know, like kind of wasn't into it. And it was because I was trying to be too, he was married and his wife was in like somewhere close by. And he was like, oh, no. And I didn't get hurt or feel weird about it, but I went, oh yeah, okay, that's good. Like he's drawing boundaries or something.
Interesting. Did that answer a question? Did you do your whole dream setup? What is it called again? Premonition? No.
Dream incubation.
Incubation. That's the word.
Yeah. I had asked a question of what is the next step in my like schooling life, or where do I go next after this chapter is closed? And so what would that be? I haven't really analyzed it. So what would that mean if someone's like drawing boundaries, telling you they can't hook up or they can't do that? I don't know.
Well, is there anybody you're interested in who's not available, perhaps? How are your celebrity crushes these days? Is it Tom Hardy saying no? Oh. Or Patrick Wilson?
So I don't know.
Nothing.
Well, celebrity crushes. I don't have those. I don't have those like you. Well, obviously Adam Sandler comes up every night, so maybe I do. Yeah. But I think he's like the guru of all guys, It's he's the guy that will tell me where I'm at with men in general.
Got it. Okay. Hey,
look,
by the way, I know
you have a streak right in my mouth.
You have a white sun goatee. You look like oh, there. Wow, your eyes are intense. Okay. We're doing that thing we said we didn't want to do with audio.
We weren't going to turn on our videos because it makes for terrible radio.
But if you
look at our YouTube, you could see the innards of my eyes.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Get out of here. You're scary.
Is it weird?
Yeah.
Is that like Ghostface? You're going to chop off my head?
Yes.
Okay, now what is that? Joel, armpits. Close
there
them
they
down.
are.
Get rid of them. Armpits are disgusting little bushly hair, weird knobby skin. Joel, nobody needs to see that. Turn them off. Disgusting. Don't go to YouTube, everyone. Whatever you do, don't go to YouTube. It just looks like some weird trucker's stubble
Ew, it does not. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I could see it.
No, it's not bad. I've
like
no
a hairy
stubble.
half ham.
Here's the thing. When you are going through perimenopause, like I think I am because my hair is very thin, I used to blame it on stress and kids. I think I'm just going through hormonal changes.
Are you?
And yeah, but it's weird because my eyebrows are not as thick and dark anymore. And I don't have to shave as much, which is kind of a bonus.
Oh,
So
really?
I'm just gonna put that out there for women worried about that. It's that's a nice fun little trick. Okay, back to dreams. I don't know what mine mean, except that I'm trying to, I don't know, work out all my, maybe I'm just like too happy during the day and all my bad stuff has to come out at night. I don't know.
Obviously if you're cutting off people's heads and you're waking up worried about your kids and your cat is licking her twee.
It's a him and yes. Okay, let's please, can we do cat talk now?
Okay, cat talk.
Okay, cat talk.
Cat talk. Cat talk.
All right. What you're seeing in the background of my video right now is going to turn into what Dave and I fondly have nicknamed Bathturbating. Now, you may think I just lisped, but I did not. What I said was bath. Our cat takes a bath. He licks himself until it becomes sensual. He bathturbates.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, he gets himself in these very, he's very limber. Look at how, well, he's not doing it now, but you know how cats can lick with their leg up in the air and they can get all contortionist. Well, he gets going on his own little nipples and he really gets into it. He starts pawing himself. He starts making cookies on his own fat belly and he starts purring. And he stays there for a really long time. And I've looked up close at his little man cat nipples and there's no hair around them. He has licked himself so much. They're all perfect little booby nipples with no hair around them.
I keep telling you, take the cat for a walk.
Yeah.
Because the cat is like this cougar outdoor cat that likes to pounce on things and super ADD. And so I think it sits and it eats too much and licks its nipples off because it needs to be running around more. He needs to be running.
Yeah, I know. I mean, can you imagine though? Like, what is that? I guess it's like an OCD thing, maybe?
Well, how many people out there have tried to
lick their own nipples off?
Or other parts? Have you really? Did you try to lick your own nipples ever? Mom is listening.
I don't think so. Have I? Maybe just to see. But I've tried to do this fun trick where you look over your shoulder and you try to get the piece of popcorn off of it.
Scooby's really into it.
See, here he goes. He's getting into it. He rolled over.
Oh, watch out. He's going to start.
It's a whole thing.
Making cookies on his nips.
Yeah. So what do you think that means? Did we separate him from his family? You just think he has too much outdoor energy.
I don't know. What do I know?
Well, and then Wrigley does the same thing with his bed. He really gets into his little sucky bed and he sucks on it like it's his mother. And he pops
it.
No, he doesn't hump it. He gets it all tucked under his arms. He gets it in just the right spot. He humps you. I don't know what kind of relationship you guys have, but he humps you and Elliot. You are his two people.
That he
likes. He likes to rump the trump. What is it called? Rump the bump. We got to play our song. Oh, the song. We're going to do that too.
Okay.
But no, I think with Wrigley, we might have separated him from his mom too early.
Yeah, I don't.
That's his like comfort thing. He self-soothes by sucking on his blanket. And it's cute though, but it's weird. He gets really into it. His eyes close. What is it with our animals? Why?
Don't separate them from their parents so early. And don't get them from a breeder. Whoopsie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I said it. Hey, I love you, Joelle.
Thank you.
You remind me, I love you like the earth and the wind and the moon and the stars and the sun.
Wow. That's very celestial. Thank you. You too.
Okay. What else do you want to talk about? You have a list there.
No. You had your cat talk.
My cat. Okay. Bath. Well, I was in the bathtub. It was a long week. I hadn't taken a bath in a while. I'd taken mostly showers. And I went into the bath. It was one of those nights where I put on the Christmas lights in the bathtub. Oof. And I put in some Epsom
God.
salt.
Did you
some
Bathturbate?
Yeah. I started kneading on my belly. I didn't
Licking your own nipples.
Joelle,
What?
this is not that kind of podcast.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There's a couple creepos out there that just got their doodle wink excited. All right.
Hashtag nipple licker.
Yeah.
Go
Joelle, stop.
What?
So I was just laying there in the bath and I had done bubbles too. Ooh, the bubbles. And then I got in my bubbles. You know how you can make them go over your face and you go down there? And sometimes I love the Huck Finn thing. I really do it a lot. I'll just put my lips out of the water and I'll just breathe because I like the water to touch all the outside of my face, but I'll just have a little lip hole. And then, so I was doing that and I opened my eyes for some reason. I felt a presence. My cat was right there through the little bubble hole, just sitting there. She's never in my life. She's come in the bathroom when I'm on the pots, but not on the edge of the tub looking straight at me. And I went, bah! That was it. That's my whole story.
But she probably thought it was a fun little fish. It was this little weird round mouth thing amidst all these bubbles, which reminds me of our Yanni episode because you described him popping up from the bubbles.
Ooh.
Just his mustache. And
good. We're going to put our Yanni episode on next week.
Yeah.
So let's use that. We're going to start putting some old ones in the rotation. So we're doing that one next.
We're going to go old school. We're having a little old school summer here. So it'll be fun.
I like that. Okay. Done with cat talk. Close it out.
Cat talk. Cat talk. We are sponsored by Dream Dinners. Oh my gosh, you guys. Everybody go to dreamdinners.com right now. I'm giving you the biggest life hack, the game changer that really made me feel good about family meal times again. Dreamdinners.com or mouseandweens.com to get the link and enter mouseandweens99 at checkout. If you're in the local area of Poway or San Marcos, you will get $99 off your first full order, and you can choose to have free delivery while we are in shutdown. But Dream Dinners is a meal prep service. It's different than the others. It doesn't come necessarily fresh in a box, and if you don't cook it right away, it rots. It's already wonderfully prepared in bags, and you pop them in your freezer, you pop them into your fridge when you're ready to thaw them out and cook them up, and you have yourself a nice, fresh, gourmet dinner on the table that's really easy to prepare, about 20-30 minutes. Anyone can do it. The kids do it. Dave helps me do it. The foods are so great. The meals are wonderful. Charlotte was just saying how excited she was to see a bunch of our new Dream Dinner bags ready to go for the week. So she couldn't wait for our mealtime, which is what I want as a mom, and I hope you do too. This is also great for single folks and even for your parents if someone's older and doesn't want to spend a lot of time shopping, prepping, cooking. This is the perfect option for them. So do go to dreamdinners.com, enter mouseandweens99 at checkout if you're local. Otherwise, choose your location and just go for it. It's not a subscription. You can end anytime, but go to dreamdinners.com and change your life.
Now we're back, Joe. I'd like to hear a little more about you and let's say your week or what's on your list.
Okay, I have something to talk about, which is post-COVID, take off those masks, folks. Let me try that again. Take off those masks. I have this retainer that it's really hard to talk with. No. Anyway.
It's not a retainer. It's a tooth. All right,
It's a retainer tooth. It's a flipper. Okay, so post-COVID, people are out. They're excited to be out. It's a whole thing. And I was one of them. I jumped in too. And we went from a restaurant to a bar because the birthday girl wanted to go to a bar. You're doing that thing where you close your eyes.
Well, I'm not looking at the video and my eyes burn from staring at the screen. So I'm really absorbing like we're actually on radio.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone watches YouTube unless you take off your shirt, which we got a lot of hits then.
All right. I'm going to minimize you, I guess, then.
Minimize me. Yeah. We shouldn't be staring at each other's armpits.
Well, yeah, this is what happens. I see you check out.
I told you to not look at me.
Okay. All right.
I told you, don't look at me. I have social anxiety disorder. I'm just kidding. No, just minimize me.
Don't make eye contact.
We don't want to be staring at each other. We're not supposed to be on video, really.
Okay, well, but we are because we have a YouTube channel. But okay. All right. So we're out. We go to this bar. It's a pool hall, right? But it's really junky. It's this crazy local place we go to. Shout out to the IR, instant replay. But Stephanie loves it. It was her birthday. She's like very competitive. And so anyway, we're playing pool, but this guy walks up and he's got the wild arms and he's very wild arms.
Oh yeah.
And he's a very good looking guy, but very well kept, like the hair. He's got the tan, he's got the lip gloss, and you can smell him a mile away. He had this great cologne on, and
he's not gay.
He had like 2 girlfriends with him. Well, no, I could hear him. I'm like one of those people who put me in a room and I can kind of pretty quickly suss up who's around, who's doing what, who's who. Like I make my judgments, add that J to my Myers-Briggs, right? And so I pinned this guy instantly. My gaydar is pretty good. I'm like, yep, that guy's gay. Okay, he's with his girlfriend.
She is good. Cool. I'm terrible.
And so he came over though, and he was like, can I borrow a pool cue? And he said it very, he had a lot of affect and stuff like that. And his hands were going. And I was like, sure. I handed it to him. And he goes, don't worry, I'm not hitting on you guys. I'm gay. And we were all, I really wanted to say like, I know you are like, you don't have to say it. It's very apparent. But then he proceeded to tell us his whole life story, which was so wild. And it just tells me that people are so excited to be out and talking to each other because by the end of the night, I mean, we took a selfie, we were hugging each other. It was a whole thing. But at the same time, I'm going, wait a minute. Isn't COVID still sort of a thing? Don't we still have to worry about this variant that's floating around? And some people aren't vaccinated. And do we need to worry? And then my daughter, she's at home not vaccinated. It's this whole crazy dichotomy of we're safe, we're back to normal, yet we're not really.
Yeah.
And it was wild. It was a super fun night though. And yeah, so that happened.
Wow.
There've been barbecues, there've been parties. We had 4th of July.
You have been going out a lot.
It's been happening. Things are picking up and I'm here for it. I really am having fun. I have to admit. Oh, so much that I caught my slime in my throat. No, 4th of July was
next level.
This was interesting. Yeah. So it was really just going to be like our bubble family, the Reynolds, hanging out with us. And it was going to be, we'll start at our house, do the pool, then we'll go to their house and watch the fireworks. They happen to move into a house that's right under the fireworks. And it turned out then Dave's family came over. So we did a whole big thing during the day. So I actually like cleaned a little bit more and I cooked a little bit more and the whole thing. Great, fine. Then we go over to Carla's house and we got there a little bit early before another couple was coming over, Megan, and our other friend Kari popped over and said, oh, hey, there's this whole thing. Like the road is jam-packed with cars. We said, what's going on? She's like, oh, this neighbor is kind of like this hippie dude. I don't know what's going on, but he's having a big party. He said we can all come in if we want. So of course, Kari had to go back and continue hosting at her house, but Carla and I are like, well, let's pop over and see what's going on. So we went in the backyard and it was this little tiny mini Coachella happening in these fancy suburbs where we live. It was the wildest thing. And for you, Weens, this is like a day in the life. Like you just filmed that tent, concert in the front yard the other day. And, but for Poway, this is not normal. So there were tents set up in the backyard, like people sleeping there. Nobody had shoes on. There was like all these drapey clothes, hippie dancing. I mean, pot smoke wafting by.
You need some.
Drinks were flowing. There was the bar. There was food. It was free love. Everybody was like, come on. There was people in the pool, bras, no bras, just very like, this is not Poway. So it was so welcome. I was like, this is kind of how I grew up. Not really, but sort of like this was very It was a little throwback thing. And they had this tent with music going and a stage and lights and, you know, a guy with a dog with one leg running around taking pictures and, you know, babies in little packs. I dug the whole night. I was like, we got to come back. So we quick went and we did our family thing, but then we snuck back over. We brought everyone with us and we made friends. There was a guy there singing in his underwear. What else? He was all about your big sister, Weens.
Oh my gosh, good for you. You attract the real interesting ones at these.
He wanted to know if I was married, and
wait a second. I have to describe the photo. He was like he reminded me of a bearded Einstein in a American flag Speedo with like a vest or something, right?
He had, a little red tuxedo with tails, but it was way too short on him. So his big belly was hanging out, but he had little stripy undies and a whitish beard thing going on. Yeah, it was like
Didn't he sing God Bless America with a foreign accent?
Yes.
Was he from Italy?
It was the national anthem. I'm not sure where he was from. Something Latin.
It sounded like Hungarian or Italian. I couldn't tell because he was singing only.
Yeah, right. And he didn't know the words. And after we shut off that little film, because we filmed it, it was so funny.
Yet wave o'er the land and the sea, o'er the gray.
He's like, can you please pull up the words? I really do want to learn the national anthem.
Oh, I love it.
So we were sitting there looking at all the words together.
And he was in love with you.
Well, he did ask if I was married, and I had to do the old ring check. I'm sorry. And he Dios mío. No.
Joe, you could have had so much fun.
I know. There's a whole other life out there for me, but alas, no.
Swingers. It sounds like it looked like a little fun. Yeah, it was just.
There were a lot of kids there. Actually, it was just kind of freewheeling families.
Yeah, and looked just freewheeling. And there was an amazing flamenco singer and dancer.
Yes.
That was cool.
Y no quiero perderte, que no te tengo, primo, que no te tengo.
That was so cool. And then later she came back out, and it was her parents that were two of the musicians too. So she's like, oh, I'll talk to you guys in a minute, but I really want to go hear my parents. And that was when we did that Hungarian dancing. There's a waltz that Dave and I were doing. Anyway, it was such a fun time.
What did Dave think? Was he open to it? Or
Dave was funny. He was so funny because at first, so Carla and I were over there. We texted him a video. We're like, come over. You got to check this out. And he wrote, I should find my phone here. He wrote, because Dave, I love him so much. He's just quick to judge, right? He's quick to make decisions about things and say like, yeah, no, I don't think so.
But then he'll come and probably have a great time.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Which is a lot of guys, which is so funny to me.
Yeah. He said, sorry, this is taking a while. Forget it. Oh, ruining this.
Great radio.
I'm so sorry, but it was fun. It was basically like, I'd rather go to the hospital and have my balls tied in a knot or something like that, like then come over there. But later we said, you have to come check it out. The music is so great. It's so awesome. We showed him a couple of videos and he was like, okay, so only Dave came over with me and Carla, and we left the other guys at home with the kids. Then once he was over there, we're like, go get the other guys, go get our husbands. And so he went back to the house, recruited all the husbands to come back over, and they all hung out for a little bit. So yeah, it worked out.
Did they like it, or were they like, oh my God?
It was a little bit, oh my God, but they did hang for a while, and it was cool. Dave and I danced. The other two kind of stood back and like, they enjoyed it for a moment, but
Yeah.
But Dave was a trooper. I was so impressed. And even Carla afterwards was like, your husband, that was really cool of him. And I'm like, I know. I did not expect that of him. So
that's really good. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got some life in him there.
Yeah. And it got me all excited about, we need to travel more. We need to go to more, experience more stuff. That was so much fun. And like, let's take the kids before they're all out of the house. We have to go
to
live
Spain.
Live in Spain. We need to live in Italy. I want to go to all these places. And he's like, but the firm and I have work, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, let's not call it living somewhere. Let's just call it like a long vacation, like 3 or 4 weeks. We'll just go somewhere for a while. So I don't know.
Do it. And now why couldn't you just go for a week or something?
Well, a week is nothing. That doesn't feel like living somewhere. Like I want to re-experience our honeymoon. That was what was so fun. It was 2 months, 3 months of being in Europe. And like we had an apartment in Tuscany, and where were we? Florence. And we had an apartment in Paris, and it was so great. I mean, and you get to know the little grocer on the corner, and you go to the same place for breakfast. And that's what I loved. I loved like the farmer's market and knowing the streets and learning your way around. And so that's,
I love it. I say do it in a small way and work your way up to it and make it more of a real possibility if you kind of inch your way into it.
Yeah. I think
take those kids. You have to offset those Kauai vacations, which she's going on in 2 days with a private chef. Offset it with some rough living.
He fired the chef. Dave doesn't want to impose, so he fired the chef. I know. We do get a private car, but and we have to leave a day early because the next group coming in is like a celebrity group of some sort.
Ooh, find out who it is.
They need 2 days to clean the place. 2 full days. We're picking up the cleaning bill. That was Dave's other thing. He's like, I don't want to feel like I owe this guy.
What's the bill? $1,000?
$1,400.
Holy I will clean that place for half. I will fly there on my own dime and clean it and make some money. Yeah. It's insane.
So the whole thing is just way out of our league. I mean,
it's not out of your league, but you're not used to indulging.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil the kids either.
Spoil the kids. Is not I'm counter it by taking them to a shelter and feeding homeless or something.
Yes.
I really think you can keep them grounded.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to work on it though. Balance.
I know.
All right. Where are we at? Should we wrap it up?
I don't know, but I wanted to hear real quickly, what are we looking at in the background? So we have a Spanish theme going on in your.
Mom told me this is Blake's wife, Anne, she said it was Spanish something, which you might know the time period or the style it is.
I don't.
I said, her mom's English. So I thought it was something Englishy, but it's a Spanish something.
Cool.
Yeah. I like it. I like twisty wood too. And I would I saw the coolest place when I was doing cater waitering in New York. You would go do these really fancy houses and parties because I worked with Cipriani, who was a famous restaurant guy. He did the windows on the world of the World Trade Center. That restaurant was his.
Okay.
The one that you go all the way to the top and you eat. And so he had a private catering company. So one of the places I just remember saying, someday if I make millions, I will do my place in this old Spanish where everything's wood and dark and old iron rod, like chandeliers, like yours right behind you.
I do like these guys. Yeah.
We can't see it. Okay. That's all right. That's kind of,
Yeah.
I would do that real Spanish dark, like, oof. I love
Do you remember Shelby's house when we were on the ranch? Her family house was like that too.
She had a big front room.
Big, huge doors. It smelled like smoke. They had fireplaces that would just kind of
love it.
Poof smoke everywhere. Yeah, it was cool. Well, let's in our next episode too. So we're going to do Yanni. Kids, you're going to get to hear Yanni again. And we're going to have Mom on. We have an old interview that we just dusted off and we're going to pop it out there talking about how she does design work. So for those of you who are into your homes and design, look for that next. It's a cute one. I sat with her at a restaurant and recorded. So
I love it.
Come out. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, I'm so excited that you had a nice Coachella time. I think it puts you back to your roots where you lived with me, where we were on a ranch.
I know.
And would go to Zorthian's Ranch in the summer.
Yes.
We did once in Los Angeles where it was all hippies and naked pagan ladies roasting pigs. And
yes,
that's where we come from. So know thy roots.
I know. Painting nudes. And that was going to be the next stage.
I think you should bring it to Poway, Joe.
I know.
Keep
well,
it
Carla
going.
got so into it, and I have my 50th birthday party coming up in March, and she's like, let's do this in your backyard.
Oh my God. Carla, if you're listening, we should plan this. Let me help and we'll both like hippie it out. And
can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine. I'm thinking of it right now.
Really?
And I could.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's a.
But we have nosy neighbors that call the cops on us every single time we have a party.
So
How
shoot
would that
them.
go? Okay. All right. You did not hear that here. We did not shoot the neighbors.
Can you give him a piece of birthday cake, but secretly it's got lewds in it? So you can put him to sleep for the night. Send
Another
him to a
hippie thing.
hotel.
I don't think anyone says lewds anymore either.
Really? Some uppers, downers, reds, blues. I'm like a 1970s cop show. Some black beauties.
I love it.
Joe, invite
It'll
them,
be fun.
embrace them, and ask them to come. And then they
All
won't.
right.
This is my technique. When you have a party, you ask everybody to come, and you give them wine and say, "We're having this party. We'd love for you to come."
Yes.
And then when they come, shoot them. I'm just kidding.
Stuff them in a
You
bag.
can stick them in the
back.
closet like Weird Science. Remember the grandparents got frozen in the closet?
No, but you reference this all the time. I need
Love
to go
Weird
back
Science.
to my old movies. All right. Well,
All right, everyone. We love you implicitly from the bottom of our souls.
That's right.
All of you who are listening, you're very special to us.
Yay, special
Done.
people. I hope everyone else is getting out there a little bit safely. Write in with your stories of if you're out and about post-COVID, how you feel about it. Do you get anxious about it? Are you just like, whoop, whoop, having fun? I don't know.
French kissing the bartenders. I know you did.
What's happening out there? All right. Write us at mouseandweens@gmail.com. We are also, everything is at mouseandweens.com. Patreon, for those of you who want to be VIPs and hear the stories that we don't tell here, but we only tell our patrons, go over to patreon.com/mouseandweens. And for a mere $5 a month, you can join. We would love to have you and welcome you to our little tiny family over there.
Speed it up. My computer's about to die.
Oh my God. Okay, fine.
chop.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Love you.
We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
We sit in silence and fear of people who judge us for stating what's clear. When we were children, we spoke our minds. As we grow older, we're silenced with time. Remember the things we used to care about. We were on fire and we had no doubt.
Hi, this is Two Girls on a Bench, the podcast. So we're two writers who tend to procrastinate just a bit.
We like to snack. We like to talk.
We don't have time to write, but we have time to do this podcast.
We certainly do. Join us on the bench.
Listen in.
At number 2 Girls on a Bench.
Did you know that the Podfix Network, home of Varmints, Two Girls on a Bench, Podcast 42, and more, has its own network podcast? Go wherever fine podcasts are found and look for Podfix Presents. Network highlights, interviews, roundtables, and more, all showcasing the eclectic depth of Podfix talent. So, subscribe today. Podfix Presents on your podcast app of choice. And check us out at www.podfixnetwork.com, at Podfix on Twitter, and official_Podfix on the gram. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.
This was a podcast of the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.